Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Burt, for the invitation to come this morning. Please join me with hands together in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. I'd like to share this teaching from Zen Monchu Koshin Otani's book, The Buddha's Wish for the World. Many of you are familiar with it. It was his first book. He states in there, all things are interdependent, interconnected, and intricately joined together with one another. This truth is called Praticca Samuppada. That's a Sanskrit word, and I don't know if I'm saying it right. So I looked it up on the internet to get kind of a hint of how to say it. He feels this word is very important because of what it stands for. Interdependence and interconnectedness are familiar words we learn from the Buddhist teachings, from ministers, from Dharma school lessons, books, teaching us to respect all living things as well as the preciousness of our earth that we need to take care of. This is the season of Hanamatsuri, so I will begin with some excerpts from the life of Siddhartha, who became Shakyamuni Buddha. We commemorate the birth of Shakyamuni Buddha, born over 2,500 years ago. A Buddhist tradition is to pour sweet tea over a statue of the baby Buddha. This represents the gentle rains that fell at his birth. And as the story goes, we have learned how Queen Maya dreamed of the white elephant entering her side, which was a sign that she was about to have a child. We've heard the legend that at birth, the baby Buddha took 7 steps, the significance of which is said to represent all the directions that the Buddhist teachings reach: north, south, east, west, up, down, and here, throughout the whole universe. As Siddhartha was growing up, he had some questions we have today. Why do people grow old? Why is there sadness? Why do all the luxuries he had not give him true happiness? What was the meaning in his life? He left the comfort of the palace to seek answers, and because he left his family and life of comfort to seek enlightenment, we have the benefit of the Buddha Dharma today. In order to practice the Buddhist teachings, we must first study and understand it. In 2014, Reverend Marvin Harada wrote, "To wish to find meaning in your life is to wish or aspire to become a Buddha. It is the wish to find your true self, to find the true meaning of happiness." Shakyamuni Buddha had the same question, so he renounced the throne and began his spiritual search for truth or enlightenment. Although he had a myriad of material things and comforts, he was not happy. He asked himself, is this all there is to life? Am I just born to live and then die someday? Such were the conditions that led the prince to begin his journey and quest for enlightenment. And because the Buddha discovered all the answers to all of the questions, we don't have to leave our families today to do the same. We've been given all we need to know in order to live a happy life. When we reflect and awaken, we can aspire to the reality of our particular struggles and challenges, to be aware of the gifts we must share with others, such as the gift of gentle eyes, looking at others kindly, the gift of a smile, the gift of words spoken kindly, the gift of the heart, and the gift of generosity. I've been fortunate to be able to teach preschoolers, kindergartners, and first graders about Buddhism, which is a challenge. At Moilili and Hongwanji Mission School Services, I stick with stories that have basic concepts: kindness, saying thank you, listening, sharing, taking turns, and smiling, sharing a happy face, not only with the little ones, but even when I do services at care homes, where a smile and kind face can communicate and break the ice. So addressing the question, do we aspire to become Buddhas? In his book, The Buddha's Wish for the World, Zen Monshu encourages us to know the term praticca samutpada, the truth that all things are interconnected with another. Among the basic tenets of Buddhism is this teaching of praticca samutpada. All things are interdependent, interconnected, and intricately joined together. He writes, all life is linked together. All of us share in the light that Amida Buddha shines upon us. This is what Buddhism teaches. To save all is the reason for Amida Buddha's existence. This is how Shinran Shonin thinks and feels. We're all on a spiritual journey with many questions, seeking many answers. We have doubts. We may doubt that we can ever understand the teachings fully. We may hear over and over again, but not understand or remember the terms such as Shinjin, Bonbu, Pure Land, Bodhisattva, Dharmakara, Karma, Lokeshvara Raja, Paramitas, precepts, etc. But through listening, hearing the teachings shared by our ministers, and reading and studying the teachings, we become more aware of this gift from the Buddha, slowly opening up our hearts and minds. We were at a Brennan reunion gathering in Arizona recently. Listening to an exchange among Christian family members, the question came up, in death, what age are humans when they arrive into heaven? And at what age do they meet their family who passed before, at a younger or older age? This discussion seemed so strange to me, as it was a lively discussion with different views, depending on their church's particular point of view. Perhaps some of you have engaged in similar discussions. It was a topic that was not an issue for us. When we die, we have no worries. This is the Nembutsu and Amidas embracing us. This is the 18th vow that speaks to us, that defines our existence as human beings, always to be saved, never to be abandoned. The three treasures is our focus to guide us in this life. This reality of doing our best to follow the teaching in awareness, to wake up to our humanness, that we are ignorant, struggling to live the Nembutsu path every day, every moment. I read the following story in the Young People's Introduction to Buddhism, published by the Buddhist Churches of America. People say so often that Buddhism is so hard to understand. Long ago, an Indian monk came to China. The emperor called him to the palace and asked what Buddha's teaching was. The monk replied, cease from evil, do good, make your own heart pure. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. But, continued the emperor, any child of 6 or 7 knows as much. There's nothing so remarkable about this. Yes, replied the Indian, any child of 6 or 7 knows as much, but even a man of 60 or 70 finds it difficult to practice this. The Buddhist teaching is not so difficult to understand, but it is difficult to practice in our lives. Only when we're trying to live the Buddhist teaching can we truly be called Buddhists. Here, many people become discouraged. Buddhist books are too difficult. Buddhist writers use too many strange words. We hear 1,000 kinds of complaints. But the sage said, does the fourth grader say, my geography is too hard because it has too many strange words. I cannot learn it. No, he sits down and learns the new words which appear in his geography book. This is like my grandson Kaneohe and his reading lessons called Mayon. They are a series of stories on the iPad that are read out loud. He follows the highlighted words, and then he has to answer the questions about the story. When he began these exercises as a new kindergartner, he could not accurately remember the details of the stories, nor read the review questions. Now, several months later, he has grasped the concept and sees how words can be learned and understood. Whenever we pick him up from school, he always says, can I watch TV? Well, just the other day, I gave him The Giving Tree to read, a condition before watching television. He was not happy, but he surprised himself and read all of it, needing just a little help with some of the words. So too, we must try to learn the words that Buddhism uses. Then we will understand what the Buddha teaches, what Shakyamuni discovered for our benefit. We must learn a few new words and then think about the meaning of some old ones. This is not too difficult a task in the end, and the rewards are great. We have to embark on our own spiritual journey to find answers through the Buddha's teachings. This is the meaning of listening to the Dharma. Shinran Shonin expresses this wish to become a Buddha in one of his poems or wasangs. That poem is as follows. The mind that aspires to attaining Buddhahood is the mind to save all sentient beings. The mind to save all sentient beings is true and real Shinjin, which is Amida's benefiting of others. This is found in the collected works of Shinran. In conclusion, Joy sent a text yesterday asking if your webmaster, who is Ryan, I didn't know his name at the time, if they could record my talk to post on your website and on Facebook. Well, of course, my first reaction was, oh dear, no. But then I remembered what Bishop Eric had written in his address to the Legislative Assembly in February of 2011. He stated that we must share the living teachings of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism so that all beings may enjoy harmony, peace, and gratitude. So I agreed to share today's message, to share the Dharma, to awaken others to the teachings that helps us to live interdependent, interconnected, and peaceful lives. Again, the lesson from the Zen Monshu. All things are interdependent, interconnected, and intricately joined together with one another. This truth is called Praticca Samutpada. Thank you for being here and for giving me this opportunity to share with you. With hands together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.